Darker days are getting better. Bid for Antony, but first. Feels like only a few hours ago I saw you lovely people. Hope you're well. Happy Sunday. Sunday, my favourite day of the week for us to do this show. It's always been my favourite since we started doing this. Hope everyone's had a good Sunday. Had a lovely beef dinner today. Before we go into the news, lovely, and do you know something, Ben, straight in with the stat for me. The attendance last night for Manchester United against West Ham for a friendly, 82,566. The Club World Cup had 81,118 spectators. Classic Manchester United we're still drawing the most people. A big, massive congratulations to the Lionesses as well. Back-to-back tournament wins. That is something I think absolutely spectacular. So well done to the women. Fantastic achievement. Watch the penalty shootouts. I tell you what, that run-up is just a thing of beauty. You don't need to win the World Cup to be the biggest team on earth. Welcome. Hope you're well, Ferdinand. Chappie, hope you're good. Andy, hope you're good, my friend. Carl, welcome. Jamie, good to see you, my man. Starvan, hope you're well. I'm fine, my friend. I'm in a good mood tonight. Good evening. Hope you were my fringes. Honestly, I can't wait to get this fucking mop cut. Ben, good evening, mate. Moxie Shun, welcome back. And yes, if you're new, straight in with this. We are a Cunha away from hitting 800. If you know, you know. So make sure you're liking and subscribing. Big up, it's me, Everest. Hope you're well. She's done it again. Hi, Dan and the OGs. It keeps getting better for us day by day. I completely agree. Don't worry. We'll get there. Please wouldn't have gone amiss. We'll get there. Hampton is better than Anana, says Ben. Big up, Michael. Evening, Dan and Moxie in chat. Didn't enjoy that game too much, but I love Chloe Kelly. I'm so happy she won. Just phenomenal. Anyway, as this man jumps straight in and says, Jogging yeah, it's a great day for Manchester United. So you will remember a few days ago when I was absolutely fuming at the fact that we had Real Betis for people that don't know, who are coming in and saying, Manchester United, we can only afford to give you a loan deal. Antony, do you mind just keep digging your heels in? We know you love us. We love you. Come to us. Make sure you don't go anywhere else, and we'll do the loan. Everything will be fine. And then at the end of next season, we'll probably do the same thing, but don't worry about it. Anyway, that has all changed. The parameters have all changed for Antony. So a couple of days ago, it broke that his agent had said we would be interested in playing in Saudi Arabia. Now, Antony, as we know, Antony has just got back into the Brazil squad. We said this a few weeks ago, that out of all of the people there that wanted to go out there and play football, this guy was the one that said, I just want to get the fuck out of here and I want to get back to doing what I do best, which is play football. The reports today that Al-Nassr have come to Manchester United and put a bid in. So a report from Foot Musato, also Santi JFM, claims that the Saudi Pro League club Al-Nassr are showing interest in Antony. This is with George Mendes involved and, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, they sent an offer to sign Antony, but United responded, and I kind of guessed they'd do this. I didn't think they'd ever accept the first bid, but they've said they want 50 million. Now, before you panic about this, I'm not overly concerned that we've said how much we want. I'm not. I think Manchester United have done the absolute right thing there in saying, no. This is how much we want. And that's because we would need to receive 32.58 million in order to avoid making a loss under the Premier League's profit and sustainability rules. So Manchester United have batted back the first bid, which I'm not asked about that. This is the bit that makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, okay? At the start of July, I was like, fair play to Betis. You know, they've done well with Antony. All we need now, they've sold a couple of players. They'll come in and get him. This has kicked them back in the balls. This is a major kick in the bollocks for Real Betis. Because of this now, I said to you, the best thing that would happen for Manchester United in all of this would be for there to become a bidding war for Antony. Now, we didn't really think about the Saudi clubs coming in for him. We heard that Atletico Madrid were looking at him. We knew that Real Betis was who they wanted. Well, now that Al-Nassr have come in and said, look, we'll pay money, I just wonder if now Real Betis will go, United, actually, you're not gonna believe this. We were cleaning out the spare room the other night, and we found the cash that's needed to sign him. So we're good, right? Yeah, we're still good. Do me a favour, jog on. We've wanted this bidding war, Manchester United fans. We've absolutely wanted it. We've been craving it, and it seems like this is the next step. Now, again, are we jumping the gun here with our excitement? Possibly, potentially. But I genuinely feel like now the Antony thing will roll on, and I think we'll start to see more things happen. You've got to remember with him, he's missed out on a pre-season. Okay, so he hasn't played since, when did they play? Was it the 1st of June? Chat, let me know. I think it was, what was it the 1st of June, or was it just before that they played the Conference League final? Since then, he's not played a game. Not played a game. He will want to be getting back on that pitch lickety-split. He stayed in Brazil for a bit longer. Manchester United then said, Antony, back you come, mate. Back you come. You're going to train on your own, but back you come. We go back to that statement that Amorim said in the presser before the game against West Ham, where he said, look, they've got the lads have got a figure in their head, i.e. Barada and Wilcox, of what they want for this player. If we don't get that figure, I'm more than happy to receive this player back into the club. So I can't believe I'm saying this, but Manchester United actually doing something correct in the world of transfers, in the world of outgoings. And here's the other thing for you, right? Let me just Google this a minute. Let me just Google this for you. You'll be surprised at this. You'll be surprised at this. Are you ready for this? This will make you shocked. If we sell Antony for 50 million, he becomes our 4th highest ever player. Our 4th highest ever sold player. In what world is Antony that guy? Like, if we sell him for 50 M's, it's just incredible. He beats, here's some of the names that he would beat. David Beckham, Scott McTominay, Dan James, Mkhitaryan. He's just below Angel Di Maria. Fuck me, guys. I tell you what, our sales are absolutely shocking. That's absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. So there. And it's me, Everest. I get what you're saying there. We'll come to that in a second. We'll come to that in a second. Let's go through some of these comments before we go on with this. What we got? Mustafa says the race for Sesko. I still think Newcastle get him. Then we get Watkins. I've got a lot to say about that. I've got a lot to say about that in a sec. Still buzzing after last night. So positive, Andy. We'll go through that again in a bit. Manchester United were positive last night. Got plenty to talk about with that. Really, really, really impressed with them. Really impressed with them. It went well. The watch long was brilliant. Fair few there, and we were able to see a couple of goals, which was always sublime. If João Félix was 44, then Antony is definitely in the same region. Moxie, I agree with this comment. João Félix, if João Félix is going for 44 million. I would have to say over the last, you base it on what we've seen of both of them. Has João Félix been incredible the last 2 years? I think not. Ben says that Betis will they'll definitely find the cash now, won't they? What's your thoughts on the United game in Rasmus? Don't worry, Jamie. We'll get into that in a sec. Crazy stuff. It is. Antony, let me say that again. Antony will be the 4th highest sellable player Manchester United have ever had. That's just fucking bonkers. And I don't think he's worth 50 million. I reckon, 25 to 30. Well, we can't do 25 to 30 though, Jogane. We have to sell him for a minimum of 32.5 to make sure we don't fuck up on the PSR. So there is obviously the quotes from before that Antony has openly said he admires Cristiano Ronaldo. Cristiano Ronaldo, the hero that we all needed, coming to our aid and saying that he wants this player. I expect this to ramp up this week, okay? I fully expect this to ramp up this week. Get him out the way. We get Antony done. Chat, what do you think that funds? I'll tell you what it funds. Funds are number 9. Now, the reports of Sesko, we'll go on to Sesko for a sec. Reports that Sesko, Manchester United are interested. But we know today let's just be honest, the horrific couple of weeks that Newcastle United have had, Newcastle United now are going full bore into this. So Newcastle have entered into negotiations with Sesko's agents. The club and players camp are in talks. Despite other reports, there is, according to our information, no fundamental verbal agreement yet. However, the Magpies are seriously pushing, and should an agreement be reached, Newcastle will then approach RB Leipzig. Apparently, they're still wanting 80 million. Now, here's my take on Newcastle United, because there is reports that Sesko has come out and said he favours United. Regardless of the fact that we're not in Europe, he would still favour a move to Old Trafford. Here's where hypocrisy is going to come into play. And I mean this, I genuinely mean this. Here's where hypocrisy is going to come into play. I feel like Newcastle, because they know Isak's going, because they've missed out on so many of their signings that they want already, if they get agreement with Sesko and the club, I think they're going to be paying this guy a lot of money. And I think they go into the realms of what Manchester United have been famed for doing for such a long time. When it's not been going great for United, what did we do? Our defence mechanism was throw as much money at someone to get them to the club. Ultimately, it was our undoing, because these players would come for big wages, would end up being utter shite, and then be in a situation where we are now, where we can't sell these players on. Now, there is a source, apparently, I'm going to say Nicolo Shearer, says that Benjamin Sesko has an agreement in principle with Newcastle for a contract until 2030. They are now working with Leipzig to get it sorted. However, I had a look at this guy. I had a little look into this guy, and apparently Nicolo, I'm going to say, Shearer, apparently isn't considered a highly reliable source for football transfer news. I kind of feel like with this Sesko deal, what I've got in my head, we know that Christian Vival worked with Sesko, and I said this about a week ago, that Sesko was open to coming to us. Manchester United don't have the money to go and do that deal today. They don't. We know that. However, with the Antony deal that looks like it's progressing, I just wonder if they're saying to Sesko, just hang fire a sec, just hang fire, and if we can do this, we will. We know that Manchester United, when it comes to making signings, we are absolutely on the floor when it comes to it. We take so fucking long to do it. I would love nothing better than this to be a quick and easy agreement of Manchester United pay the money, Sesko comes over, holds the shirt, we move on. But I'm going to be honest with you. As much as Vival is our so-called secret weapon, not so secret weapon, as much as he has come out and said that he would favour United, my general feeling on this is that we miss out on this signing. I think we miss out on the Sesko signing for the simple fact Newcastle are entering a stage now where they are desperate to get the signings in. They need the signings in. In what world would you have sat there if I'd have said to you guys on the 1st of July that Manchester United on the 27th of July would have had a better transfer window than Newcastle United? You would have all laughed at me. You'd have all told me I was being an absolute moron. It's a good season for Newcastle now. They've got all the money. They can go and do what they want to do. The loaded mag boys, fair play to them, have called it out for so long that they haven't had a decent transfer window. And it's not looking like it is now. And there's another scenario here. Imagine Manchester United swoop in and get Sesko from under Newcastle's noses. It's a mad one. It's a mad one. Now, if you're asking me my opinion on who I think Manchester United should sign, and I'm pretty sure Jamie agrees with this by the looks of it, I'm going to sit here and tell you I want Ollie Watkins. I do. I absolutely want Ollie Watkins. I feel like for where we are now, I think he is the perfect man. I think he's the man for the job to come in for the next 4 seasons, be there as the focal point whilst Chida Obi grows into his body, grows into the role, and then he takes over. But as always, this is a community. Some of you guys are absolutely buzzing at the fact that we could get Sesko, and that's okay too. The guy has got a lot of talent. He's 22. He has got a higher ceiling than Watkins. We know this. He's got another 8-9 years at the top, hasn't he? Hitting his prime. So, evening, Kev. Hope you're well, my friend. So, what are our thoughts on that? What are our thoughts on the Benjamin Sesko deal? Am I being pessimistic here? Because I'm in a more positive mood now. You know this. I had my little moan the other night after the presser. But I don't think it's pessimistic of me to sit here and say where Manchester United are with their transfers at the moment, when Newcastle United are at the moment, that Manchester United can get this deal done straight away. This would be a drawn-out one. This would be a long, drawn-out one. Yes, make sure you like and subscribe, or we are on the road to 800 subscribers. We need Acuna to do it. Do we need Acuna? No. Okay, we don't. We need a Bruno Fernandes to do this. We need a Bruno Fernandes to hit 800 subscribers. Let's see if we can get that done tonight. That would be absolutely fucking phenomenal. Evening, Antony. Hope you're well. Liverpool selling Diaz has bought the possibility of Isak joining them fuckers too. My God, would put them in a real good spot for the next 2 to 3 seasons minimum. Soul destroying the moves they are doing. Look, Moxie, like I've said to you before, and I will say this to everyone. I'll say this to everyone. Unfortunately, as much as it pains me to say it about the Liverpools, about the Arsenals, about the Cities, about the Chelseas, who have been our rivals for so long, you know, when we've been going for titles and going for cups, those 4 teams, we shouldn't even be thinking about them. We shouldn't even be thinking about them. I honestly, what they're doing at the moment, yeah, you look at it as a neutral fan, you go, fuck me, Liverpool are getting a lot in here. But as a Manchester United fan, I look at them and I go, they're not our problem at the moment. We've got too much work to do on ourselves. We need to be focusing this season on getting ourselves back up the table, back into European spots. I'm not focusing on them. They're absolutely destroying the transfer market with what they're doing. None of my concern at the moment. Watkins is definitely my choice as our number 9, says Moxie. I agree. Steve says, hi, Dan. We have to ask ourselves, who's the bigger risk? I'll ask you that. Who is the bigger risk? In fact, I'll tell you what. We love a poll on this channel. Let's do a poll. Who is the bigger risk? Watkins, Šeško. Bada boom. There we go. It's in there. It's in there for you. Who is the bigger risk? Who's the bigger risk? Because for me, absolutely, I think it's Šeško. Can't believe I'm saying that. But I think it's Šeško. I think Šeško at his age, I worry that we'd have another Rasmus Højlund situation. I'm not. I don't want. What I don't want is United to go out there and absolutely, you know, think they're signing the next big thing for it all to come crashing down again. I think with Ollie Watkins, you've got tried and tested, and I think it's the better position for us to be in. I genuinely do. I genuinely do. What's the early vote looking like? Oh, it's so close. Guys, it's so close. Bruno to 800. Yes, Spence. I'll beat you to it tonight, mate. Antony says, gladly take either for different pros, but the same reason we need a striker, but have to say Rasmus is looking better. And look, you know, we can sit here and say Rasmus did well last night. Rasmus put himself about last night. He did. Rasmus was a rascal. And that's what we want from our striker. We want them to be a rascal. First minute, he's pushing himself. He actually had a turn of pace last night. I nearly fell off the chair watching him doing that. But is that Rasmus at his best? And if it is Rasmus at his best, do you honestly feel like Rasmus could keep this up throughout the season? Because we've seen for too long his inconsistencies have been the biggest problem. Always been the biggest problem. Kev says, I wanted Watkins swap for Rashford when he first went to Villa. I'd have took that. I'd have absolutely took that. But do you know something though, Kev? I don't think we'd have got that done because Rashford always wanted Barca, didn't they? Oh, that's the Aldi cheap version of San Pellegrino, and it's fucking beautiful. Jamie says, he might not work in the Prem, but that's my worry with Šeško. That's the thing. That is the thing. I genuinely... Watkins, we know, has got goals and assists to his game. We know this because we've seen it for the last 3 to 4 years. Manchester United for too long have brought players from overseas to come in and do a job, and you've looked and you've gone, they've not taken to it. They've not taken to it. I kind of feel like, why not just you? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Watkins isn't broken in the Premier League. Watkins scores goals. He assists goals. He knows how to play the game in the Premier League. Want high status investments with real development and resale potential. What do you want? High status investments and oh, sorry, Lawrence. I see what you mean. I thought you were trying to sell me a bloody house. Yeah, Sesko does have the high resale potential. I get that, but will Sesko hit the ground running quicker than an Ollie Watkins? I don't think he will. I'm not bothered about Sesko Watkins as long as we get a striker, says Andy, and there's nothing wrong with that. We go back to the news, don't we? Manchester United absolutely need a striker. And if you've just joined the chat, the reason we're talking about the striker is Antony looks like he is now potentially heading out of the club, with more than one club now showing interest. Al-Nassr are showing that they want him as well. Hold that, you Manx, lol. What's this? Oh, I see what you mean. I forget you're Liverpool. It's me, Everest. Antony says, shot on the post was cracking. It was. A little bit more to the right. It'd have been a stunning goal. I know what you're saying, Dan, but that mob in red down the M62 have always been a concern. They are, mate, but we're not there, are we? What do you mean inconsistencies? I'm not talking about last night's performance. I'm talking about his time at Manchester United is what I'm talking about. I don't think he's been, well, we know he's not been consistent at Old Trafford. So that's what I'm talking about. A King Eric to 800. King Eric to 800, guys. Come on, we can hit this 800 tonight. That would be phenomenal. As a few people have pointed out, the signings of Brian and Cunha could really help Rasmus. Yes, they could. They absolutely could. But there does pose another problem here, doesn't there? There does pose a slightly more, another conversation we're going to have to look at. We saw Bruno play extremely well with Cunha last night. I thought they linked incredibly. I thought Bruno and Cunha linked fantastically last night. I really did. Equally, I thought Kobe Mainoo and Ugarte as the double pivot were fucking phenomenal. Now, it's West Ham, and West Ham are waiting for signings themselves. So we know it's not the West Ham that's going to start the start of the season. We know they'll bring players in. But I thought they were phenomenal last night. And this asks the question. We've brought Brian to come into the cam role. Bruno apparently is going to start the midfield role. I genuinely feel like last night, Ugarte and Mainoo will have made Amorim look up and go, okay, now we've got a decision to make. With Cunha and Mbam, I think I just, better Erasmus. Evening, Lucas. Hope you're well. There are twice as many people in here as there are likes. Yes, let's get those likes up, people. Mason Mount to 800, Subra says. We're going to go with a King Eric on that one. I love Sesko because his goals are swiggy. Oh, do you mean sweaty? I don't know. Tamanoye. Is it sweaty? I don't know. Sorry if I've misread that, dude. Jamie says Arsenal could end up in the same boat with Gyökeres. It might not work in the Prem. Do you know something, though? When you look at Gyökeres' goals he's scored over the past few years for Sporting, I mean, it would be incredibly fucking unlucky if it falls in its arse for Arsenal today, wouldn't it? This season. Tom Knash says, I get Watkins and keep Rasmus. This is the thing, isn't it? You know, Manchester United, we were talking about they would have to get rid of Rasmus to fund the striker. Well, it's gone quiet on Sancho. We know that. I honestly, Sancho, man, that was meant to be done. Now it isn't. So we're waiting on that. We could see a week here where Antony goes and that raises most of the funds for us to bring in a striker. So I want Watkins. I really want Watkins. I get what you're saying. Well, I got you. Bruno false nine or Brian up front. I'm going to say no to both of them, Andy, because ideally, you look at Bruno. He is at his creative best in midfield. I feel like if he goes into that false nine, I think we lose what he does further back on the pitch. And Brian was brought in to be that cam for us. Brian was brought in because of his tenacity to press. Brian was brought in because he's played that position for such a long time with Brentford. It would be like employing an accountant to fix an engine on a car, wouldn't it? It's not what they've been doing before, and now we're just going to hope that they can pick it up. I feel like strikers the answer. Augustus says we need to pressure our opponents, and we did that last night. I thought our press was incredible. And shout out to all the regulars. Yes, you are completely right there. Manchester United, please sign Sesko. The guy is just no giving up. He's better than our striker. Sesko learn, and he doesn't give up. Tamonoye, I'm going to say. I'm sorry if I've got your name wrong. Look, guys, Manchester United, this is the problem. There's been no concrete news. We've seen the Newcastle links come out to Sesko tonight. There's been nothing really about Manchester United from the big boys. The only thing you've got is Ruben is Fabrizio said, keep an eye on this story in the coming days as Newcastle will go with an important proposal and United will discuss again internally with Ruben Amorim involved in the conversations. We know that Ruben Amorim has said he wants Premier League proven. That's what he wants. He doesn't. I don't think he wants to take a hit on a chance. I think after witnessing what we did last season, I think in Ruben Amorim's mind, he's thinking, no. Forget potential. Just bring me in someone that can play up front for Manchester United, that has already played in the fucking Premier League, that has already scored goals in the Premier League, and let's go for it. I think that's what it is. But again, I've been wrong before. You know this. Watch highlights today, and Ugarte and Mainu were very good. As I've said, I think Ugarte will be much improved this season. Bruno, Brian, and Cunha, rotational front three. A lot of you are saying this tonight. Yeah, do you know something? Ugarte has been getting a lot of stick on this chat, a lot of stick. And when I've looked at other rival channels, not other rival channels, but you know what I'm saying, other channels, Manchester United fan channels. A lot of them say the same. They're not impressed with Ugarte. Now, Ugarte, the one thing that struck me last night, I don't know if you saw it, but he got interviewed in English. I think it was his first English interview. So he's obviously attempting to try and get in there, isn't he? And try and learn and try and become a part of the club. So I just feel like Ugarte this season, it's a massive season for him. But that's not just him. It's a massive season for a few of the United boys. We've started the first phase of getting rid of the players we don't want and bringing people in to replace them. This won't just stop after this season. If all things fails for a striker, then we go for Vardy. Has Vardy been linked with anywhere else yet? Let's have a look. James Vardy links. Let's have a look. Rangers. Oh no, yeah, Rangers. I tell you what, you could quite easily see Jamie Vardy playing in Rangers. Jamie Vardy was born to play in the Old Firm. Jamie Vardy was born for that game. He would absolutely fucking relish that. Butcher to 800, guys. Keep them subs coming. There's 40 in the house. We are a butcher away from the 800 mark. Let's see if we can get that done tonight. That would be absolutely incredible. Need Maguire to take out Gyökeres and put him out for the season, says Andy. I tell you what, I wasn't impressed with Maguire when he come on last night. I thought he looked absolutely shocking. Now, people are saying, well, it's the intensity of playing over. Fucking hell, look like a peacock. Fucking hell, that's worse, that is. Where's the at? I just have to say that. People are saying that the intensity, actually, that looks decent, that does. I've just coined a new fucking haircut. People saying that the intensity was tough for players to go on the pitch and do last night. I don't buy that. As a footballer, as a defender who we know is famed for being able to bring the ball out sometimes and play those passes, all he did last night was just try and lump it. Now, I'm not sat here battering Maguire and saying he's finished at United. I just think that, I don't know if it was because the 10 changes were made and it's hard to get rhythm, but I wasn't impressed with him last night. Yeah, I really thought it worked yesterday with Bruno and Cunha, so Amorim will have a hard choice. Yeah, well, I think he will. But do you know something? That's the choices that Amorim wants to make. That's the choices that Amorim wants. He wants players to be competitive in positions. So instead of going, well, I need to put that player there, it then goes to, well, he's playing fucking good. Can I move him there? So it's great for the manager. 6 subs to it. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it done tonight, guys. I've always said Ugarte gets hate and he really is good, says Jamie. Ugarte last season didn't have a pre-season and tired towards the end of the season. I agree with that. Oh, Christ, sorry about that. Steve-O, hope you're well. Says, I love Harry. I'm sure he loves you too, dude. What's this one? So, I quite understand, but Walk-in will just give us... Oh, right, okay. So Watkins will give us 3 years, but Sesko will give us 10 years. And if he fits in with Manchester United very well, then we can still sell Sesko in 6 years' time for £80 million. I'm going to put a dampener on that. If we sold him for £60 million, he'd become our... No, did you say 60 or 80? If we sold Sesko, and we haven't even fucking got him, for 80 million, he'd become our second highest sale of all time. That just shows exactly how bad United are at selling. But I take your point. Yes, hope you're well, my guy. Hope you're well. No, Moxie, you were the fan I was talking about. Yes, you have been saying ever since TikTok days, actually, that he would be a massive improvement this season, and he was burnt out. Don't worry, this guy never forgets. Andy says, in my opinion, De Ligt is far better than Maguire. I feel a poll coming on. We love a fucking poll, don't we? Let's have a look at that. That is you've charmed me. If you don't know what the reference is for that, I'll be devastated. You've charmed me. Start a poll. Who you guys having? I would be interested to see how this goes. I'm intrigued to see how this goes. We've put the poll. Have a look at the poll. Who you taking? Who's better, Maguire or De Ligt? Like the stream, sub to reach to 800. Yes, it's me, Everest. Let's make sure we're getting people involved in this. Is the Antony news real? Says Ahmed. The guy who broke it, Santi JFM, he's not that bad. He's not too bad. He gets it. He gets more right than he does wrong. Either way, we've seen this happen with transfers before, where all of a sudden other clubs hear that clubs are coming in and making offers. It might just push Real Betis, as I said, to look under the mattress and go, actually, we've got the cash here. We'll put a bid in. So let's hope so. Maguire still stands on the ball forever, thinking he's the one that will play a killer ball. And all these years, not one of the managers told him to stop with that bullshit. Do you know what, though? Amorim loves him. We need to get the goalkeeper first. It's gone quiet on Le Mans. Honestly, Le Mans, if I'm United for 15 million, that deal's already done in my eyes. I just worry, and this is a concern of mine, I will be honest. I just worry that Manchester United are going to wait until they get back off tour to finish these signings. When do we get back off tour? Mods, does anyone know when United get back off tour? Is it like 2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks? Or is it a week yesterday they get back? We can't afford... What's the date today? 27th, 3rd. Well, it won't be the 10th we're back because we've got a pre-season, haven't we? We've got a game against Fiorentina. So I reckon we're back next Sunday maybe. Or maybe the Wednesday after. We can't... Manchester United cannot wait that long to do all of these fucking transfers, is what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to get across. Watkins is like Casemiro. By the end of the day, Watkins will go for a free or a loan. That won't be a profit for us. I'll ask the question, though. What's worth more to us? Bringing him in and then hoping we can get a resale, or bringing him in and him in and he scores the goals that pushes us back into Europe, maybe possibly after a couple of years back into the Champions League. What's more valuable? I know we're not going to get money for Ollie Watkins. And we don't even know if the Ollie Watkins deal would happen now, but he would be my choice over Sesko. But for me, personally, I genuinely would rather take Ollie Watkins for 3 years where he is now over Sesko, who's 22, and we don't know if it's going to take him a year to get used to the Premier League. We don't know. So for me, it's Ollie Watkins. The coach should not use Ahmed as a supporting left back. He should play up front. He's too small to play up front, Augustus, but I think you mean in the 10 role. I thought, look, Ahmad got a lot of strays last night. He was quiet, but when he was involved in the game, I thought he was decent. His defensive work was very good last night, especially in the first half against Juff. I thought he was quality. And yeah, Luke Littler, man, just fucking incredible for his age as well. De Ligt for defensive solidity, Maguire for the clutch. De Ligt is always injured. This is a thing that factors in it, though, isn't it? This is the thing that factors in with De Ligt. He was injury prone last season. Last US game, 3rd of August, then Fiorentina. There we go. So 3rd of August. So a week today, is it? United can't wait. We just cannot wait a week. If that's what they're thinking of doing, we can't. They need these signings done now. So Le Mans has to be done. It's actually quite a tough one at the minute. I can't wait to see the back of Slabhead. Then the next thing he turns into Harry Ronaldinho on the wing. What's up? Yeah, what's up, Paul? Hope you're well, mate. Hope you're well. Has Watkins got the danglers to play for United, though? I think he has. I think Watkins has got the absolute stones to play for Manchester United. Yeah, I do. Look, he scored some. Look, he's not the most prolific when you look at Haaland, Salah, Isaac, but what he is he is consistent, and he has consistently done it for the last 3 to 4 years in the Premier League. So I love him. I'd love to have him. I hope United can snatch Sesko from Newcastle. Well, if you're late, as I said, Newcastle United, if you're late to the channel tonight, Newcastle United apparently have put the first set of feelers out there. Apparently, from some sources, they've agreed agreed terms with Sesko. It's just about getting the terms with the club done. I think Manchester United miss out on this transfer. I said it at the start, and I genuinely do. I think Manchester United absolutely miss out on this transfer for the simple fact, until we get rid of Antony, until a Sancho goes, we haven't got the money to go out there and spend 60 million, 70 million on a striker. We absolutely don't. Oh, so nice. Nunes for 35, 40 million quid is a bargain. Absolutely not, Lindo. Absolutely not, mate. We ain't having him. Watkins in England, so much dangerous than Kane. Should have got way more minutes. I agree. Ahmad is getting unneeded criticism. Yeah, I agree with that too. I agree with that. Interesting to see De Gea when we play for Fiorentina, Dan. I can't wait for Dave to come back. He is going to get such a response. The fans absolutely adore him. Absolutely adore him. And yes, I'm here. In Amorim, we trust. Completely agree with that. How are we looking on the subs, by the way, mods? How are we looking? How are we looking? How are we getting on? We believe in you, Sir Amorim. I agree. That's what United need, a constant goal scorer. Manchester United have craved a constant goal scorer since Ronaldo left, since Cavani left. We were so blessed. I know the age together, I think they were their age put together was 75, whatever, but Manchester United haven't had anyone since then. We had the promise of Greenwood. We had the promise of Martial. We thought Martial would end up quality. Martial just couldn't stay fit. It's about now Manchester United doing the right thing and going out there and getting Premier League footballers that know what they're doing. Yes, love this. Would you take? No, I wouldn't. I genuinely wouldn't. We've had this conversation before. I genuinely can't. I can't see Greenwood coming back to Manchester United. And also, Greenwood could have a massive role in Manchester United's transfer window this season, because there are reports that he is wanted in the Saudi League too. And we all know that we get 50% of what they make on that sale. So Greenwood could make United money still too. So Greenwood could still help us. Respect to Bruno and Casemiro. Respect to Amorim. Lego head to 800. Lego head to 800, guys. Let's see if we can get that done before we finish. The way United are being run, we won't sign anyone else. It's pissing me off. Zlatan, absolute facts. 5 to go. Thank you, Moxie. Watkins touches is inside the box, but Sesko also scores goals from outside the box. He can also dribble too. Sesko is so cool. By Friday, I believe it will be 50 million with add-ons. And we won't get Sesko for 50. Honestly, if it was 50 million, Newcastle would have done it by now. But I love your positivity. Now, the other thing that I wanted to go through is just... Oh, actually, no, I do have something. So the news from Laurie Whitwell tonight is dropped. Apparently, Lisandro Martinez will miss at least the first 3 games of the season. Now, I saw people say he could be out until November, December. Some were saying in the new year, but it looks like Martinez has had a decent recovery from his injury, and it looks like he's going to be stepping up. So I actually think that's great news for Manchester United, because if we look at Aiden Heaven last night, I said this on the watch along, and Manchester United fans watching now, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. I want you to listen, and I want you to take on board what I'm saying. The first 20 minutes, Aiden Heaven wasn't there. Aiden Heaven was I think he was a bit nervy. He was making rash decisions. He run the ball out. He didn't look settled. Fast forward another 25 minutes, and we were saying, what an end to that half that boy's just had. Defence splitting passes. He was moving his positioning good. Then the second half came, and I thought he was at fault for Jared Bowen's goal. I think he misread where the ball was coming, found himself out of position, tried so hard to work back into that position. By the time he's put his foot out to do anything, Jared Bowen, being a great finisher that he is, just pumps it into the top corner over the face of the goal. The reason I'm saying all this is Aiden Heaven, we need to remember this, is a kid. I've seen so many people saying Aiden Heaven should start the season in defence. We can't do that. Manchester United would be absolutely foolish to do that. What we have to do with this lad is we have to make sure we give him the time to grow as a player, grow as a person. He will get loads of minutes this season. He will play this season. He'll get Carabao Cup. I'm sure he'll get some Premier League games. We can't focus everything on him, because what you're in danger of with doing that is burning him out, destroying his confidence. And we have been talking for the last couple of nights about Kobe Manu and about, is he finished at United? He wasn't very good last season. He looked out of confidence, couldn't stay fit. We could potentially, in 12 months, be having the same conversation about Aiden Heaven. It can go one or two ways. Aiden Heaven, if given the chance, in 18 months, 2 years, 3 years' time, you could be looking at this kid going, we have got a player here who is now consistently playing week in, week out for Manchester United. Let's not be that group of fans that just pushes every bit of hope onto this lad and ultimately sets him up for failure. He's going to make mistakes. He's young. He's going to have good moments for Manchester United. He's going to have moments that you go, oh, what's he done there? We have to make sure that we're there to help watch him grow and also to enjoy watching his development. So that's my take on him. Now, the other thing as well, I've got to say, we spoke about him slightly before, but Rasmus Højlund last night, Rasmus Højlund was very good last night. Rasmus Højlund was busy pushing himself around the box. I actually think Manchester United last night with their pressing was absolutely phenomenal. We didn't give West Ham a moment to breathe at the back there. When you look at the game we had against Leeds, our pressing was just meh. Sometimes we push on the one side, but last night we were pushing as a free. And West Ham didn't like it. Areola had a nightmare. I think if it wasn't for Todibo, I thought Todibo was quite decent for West Ham. If it wasn't for him and Wan-Bissaka, I think it'd have been more last night. So the pressing was really, really solid with Manchester United last night. The other thing I thought was good, I thought that Dorgu looked absolutely class last night. This guy had a lot of stick following his first 6 months at Manchester United. People saying, oh, he's shit. Oh, he's not good enough. And I was like, whoa. Let's calm down a little bit here. He's come into a team that's struggling. We need to give him time. And boy, is he looking better. I was really impressed with Dorgu last night. Thought he linked up well with Cunha as well. Thought Cunha was so good in just having that give and go. Him and Bruno moving the ball around. Bruno, 2 goals last night. The second goal was sublime. So I was very impressed with Manchester United last night. I absolutely was. And I tipped my cap to Rasmus Højlund because I thought he made himself very busy. Had 2 chances. One hit the post, which, to be honest, it was a hard angle. The other one, I think he just leant back too far, and it went over the bar. But there were a lot of positives to take from last night. Make no mistake about it. I still look at some of the youth players. If I'm United, Toby Collier, I'm loaning him out. Fredrickson, I'm loaning him out. And Jack Fletcher, I would just keep him in the under 23s. We've got a squad. We're bringing more players in. Mason Mount, I thought, was pretty poor again last night, and Chidobe didn't have much chance to do anything. But I was quite impressed with, for the first 70 minutes, I was quite impressed with Manchester United. I must say that. What's the? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at some of these comments. Sesko will take too much time, but I like him. That's my thoughts. What percentage of chance do you give United of making Europa or Conference League? If we get a striker in and we get a goalkeeper, I would go as far to say I would be 75% sure that Manchester United could make Europa or Conference League. I'd be happy to say that. And this actually tails on to what I wanted to talk about just now. But let me just finish these questions. Sesko is a complete striker. Fair, Amir. If Sesko gave United 15 goals for his first season, he tried. I'm not expecting too much. If he gives United 15 goals, no problem. Yeah, if he scores 15 goals, we'd be buzzing with that. Andy says, after last night, I'm more positive, but 3 more signings and it could be okay. We could sneak into the top 8 easily. I agree. Absolutely agree. Can Amorim be considered a top coach if he can only play with 3 centre-backs? I get what you're saying, Paul. Look, there's the question, the jury is always going to be out about Amorim, and rival fans like to remind us that he just sticks to this formation. Manchester United under Sir Alex Ferguson was 4-4-2, and then as the Premier League era went on, he changed it. The good managers, the great managers, have the ability to change things up to adapt to where the Premier League is. That is why I think rival fans will always question Amorim. And until we see him do something different with a formation, it will be a question mark for us too. Would I take Bowen as a striker if you don't get Watkins? I'm not sure Bowen works as a striker in the system we're trying to do. He's more of a winger, isn't he? He plays better off the right, cutting in. Martinez, Jim is cool. Fulham should be ready. It annoys me that so much the people forget that Kobe is only 20. I've said this for so long. Kobe Mainoo's 20 years old, and I thought he played incredible last night. Højlund is sharp and fast. Man of the match for me was Ugarte. What we're saying here, superstar striker would be golden, but we don't need that with the additions. We just need a threat that can get 15 to 20 goals and cause problems. We need a striker. So look, Manchester United fans, and this is right, Antony. Manchester United, if we can bring a striker in that can get between 15 and 20 goals, it will change the way we play football. Let me bring something back from the archives. For you, because I wrote this down, and I think it's so poignant about... right. So the last goal scorer, if you remember, the last goal scorer to score 20 league goals for Manchester United was Robin van Persie. Robin van Persie in 2012-2013 season. Since then, the closest that has come to that has been Ronaldo in 21-22 and Bruno in 20-21, and that was with 18 goals. Manchester United absolutely need a striker that can come in and consistently hit the back of the net. That is a given. And that's what we've been missing. We are an Evra away from 800, folks. An Evra away. Oof, I love that. Saying your number 9 is busy as a compliment just shows how shit a signing Rasmus has been. Lindo, who do you support? I forget. Who do you support, bud? Who do you support? I forget who you support, mate. Mazraoui to 800. Keep hitting the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. Yes, guys, let's see if we can get this done tonight, yeah? Let's see if we can get this done tonight. If we can get it done, I'll be over the fucking moon. Top 6 means Champions League after next season, potentially. I feel like people have made their mind up on Amorim too quickly. Just give him time. Factual. Us Stilit fans are winning, says Andy. If people say Kobe is 20, what about Rasmus? Rasmus is 22. Come on. Ugarte at 6. Bruno to 10 and Cunha as a false 9. Brian on the wing. I think that can be successful, says Paul. Fair. And after last night, I think Amorim has got to find a way to get Mainoo starting next season. He absolutely has. Would you class Pep as a great manager without having all the money to buy because he has always been given the best teams in each league? It's a good question. And Højlund is not good for us. If you look at generally Premier League players, is good that use both fit. Haaland, except from that, Pep is a good coach. That's why we're interested. Yeah, I agree. So this is something I wanted to bring in. When I said to you a few weeks ago that Manchester United needs to be focusing on the other 14 teams, we are not in. We're not in the same conversation as going for the top 5. And the top 5 battle is going to be Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, City. Did I say that? Arsenal, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, and maybe Newcastle. We just need to be better than the rest. Now, when you look at the transfer market and you look at the business that's been done from these teams, when I looked at it on the face of it, I went, fuck me, they have been busy. They have been buying bare loads of players, the rival teams. Let me deep it for you. So Villa have bought 4 players, Bournemouth 3, Brentford 5, Brighton 7, Palace 2, Everton 3, Fulham 1, Forest 3, Spurs 5, West Ham 4. Now, when I looked at it, I thought, hang on a minute. I don't recall Villa signing all these players. I don't recall West Ham signing all these players. So I deeped it, and I went into my panic mode. Villa have signed 4 players. However, 3 of them are youth players. So Villa have signed 1 player. I'll write that down. 1. Bournemouth have signed 3, but 1 of them is a youth player. So Bournemouth have signed 2. Brentford have signed 5, but 2 are youth players. So that's 3. Brighton have signed 7, but which one of them are youth gems and which one of them aren't, because they bring these kids in and they end up being fucking world beaters. Palace have signed 2. Everton have signed 3, but 1 of them was a loan to transfer. Fulham have signed 1. Forest have signed 3. Spurs have signed 5, but 3 of them were loans from last season to transfer, so they've only got 2. And West Ham have signed 4, but 1 of them is loan to transfer. So when you look at it, Manchester United, as much as we panic, and I have panicked, and said we're so far behind where we need to be, when I look at our rival clubs around us, I mean, I've not done Burnley, Leeds, Wolves have signed 3, and I haven't done Sunderland. But when I look at the teams around us and I think how poor we were last season, I also equally look at these rival clubs and go, are they really as far ahead of Manchester United as we thought they were? Like, we're sat there saying our signings, are so slow and we're being left behind. I don't think we are. And if anything, I feel like teams like Villa, like Spurs, like West Ham, not West Ham, we'll say Brentford, Bournemouth, maybe Fulham. This was the season to get your signings in, with Manchester United being so poor and everyone knowing that we can't do what we used to do, and bridging that gap even further, pushing yourself further ahead. Now, Spurs have obviously got Champions League this season. They're still licking their wounds because of the Morgan Gibbs-White fiasco. But I don't feel like Manchester United are in a position where we look and we go, we are so far behind all of these teams that it's going to be a struggle this season. If anything, with the players we've brought in, I think we've probably moved ahead of a couple of them. Now, that's optimism. And Manchester United does that to you. You can get optimistic. Sometimes you'll sit there and go, actually, it's not that bad. And the result last night against West Ham, 2-1, fantastic. There was moments in that game that you sat there and you went, we are playing fucking good football here. I'm not going to get gassed and say that we're back, but what I will say is I actually think Manchester United are in a better position, not Champions League before the rivals start kicking my ass. But I think Manchester United, when you look at the transfers other clubs have done and how impactful the transfers are for Manchester United, I think we're moving in the right direction. I genuinely do. Do we need more transfers? Absolutely fucking right we do. We need 3. We know that we need the goalkeeper. We know that we need the central defensive midfielder. And we know that we need the striker. But hey, if we can sort out that Antony deal this week, don't forget, our next game, we play, I believe it's 3 weeks today. So this time in 3 weeks, we will be sat here going, we've just played Arsenal. What have we learned? There is a lot that needs doing in 3 weeks. Transfer window closes in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks tomorrow. The transfer window closes. It's not just Manchester United that are in a bit of a fucking in a rush here. It's a whole group of fucking clubs. Aston Villa haven't really done anything. Newcastle still just got the one signing. Spurs thought they were getting Morgan Gibbs-White and everything's going to be rosy. There is a lot of transfers still to happen for these clubs. What Manchester United need to do now is make sure that they edge their noses in front that bit further to be at the front of the table, to be the top of that mini table that is from 6th down. Absolute facts. We need to make sure that we are in that table from 6th down and we need to finish top of it. Mods, how are we doing with the subs? I can see there's a fair few in here. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. We are close to 800. It would be absolutely phenomenal to do it on this stream with you fucking beautiful people. Where are we at to now? Let me know. Are we close? Let's go through some of these comments. Let's be optimistic and get Mbappe. Fucking hell. Yeah. I love the optimism there. Other than football, what is your next favourite sport? Yours is cricket. Nah, Christ. Tennis. I'd probably say tennis. If we learn Sesko and lose Isak, I can see Newcastle struggling. This is why I've said this, and if any of the Newcastle fans are in here, this isn't a dig, but Newcastle are absolutely in desperation mode at the moment, because if Manchester United were to go and sign a Benjamin Sesko from under their noses, it absolutely curtails what they're trying to do. And I've seen some of them say, "Well, we'll just keep Isak and tell him he's going to rot in the reserves." Fellas, guys, ladies, anybody that's a Newcastle fan, unfortunately, that isn't how football works. It isn't how football works. You can't do that, because it will just create unrest around the team, and then it starts to hurt you more from within. I think United will need to get 7th or 8th to be a good season in Europe. I agree with that. How's this? Let's have a look how this poll's getting on. Fucking hell, there we go. 70% saying De Ligt over Maguire. Some of you guys have changed your tune, I swear. I think Pep's a good manager, but always going into teams that have won a title and have money for him to spend, so always going to be judged as such. Would be interesting to see if he could build a team. I agree. If we get a striker in the midfield, it's goalkeeper for me. Goalkeeper is not our problem. Goalkeeper is not our problem. That is a very interesting conversation to be had, because I think goalkeeper is one of our biggest ones. Reckon we get 7th. Down with proper coaching and more effort from the players. United could have finished 8 to 10 last season. Amorim is still a big question. Paul, you still haven't told me who you support yet. Let me know who you support. Steve says, Dan Watkins is 29 and Villa for 5 years. He'd have thought, where's my final chance at winning something? With all the work going on at United, surely you find it exciting and want to change. I think Ollie Watkins will look. Whatever Ollie Watkins does this season, whether he stays at Villa and remains there, or if he goes to a Newcastle or goes to a Manchester United, the next 3 years of his career are massive. This season alone for the World Cup, that'll take him to 30. Then 2 years later, so what are we on? That'll be 2028 will be the Euros. 3 massive seasons for him. And if I was a footballer, I miss the arrogance with some players that go, I'm going to go there and sort this. I want to go there and be a part of this project that's going to turn things around. We've heard people say it. We've heard Casemiro say it. And God love him. The intent's there, but the body just won't let him do it. If I'm Watkins, I'm going United. Ben says, I think we'll draw with Arsenal 1-1. We'll come back to that. We're going to do some previews for that. We are nowhere near as far behind those teams from 7th to 15th. And if we can get 2 or 3 players in, we'd definitely be ahead of most of them and in a good position for Europe at last. Do you know something? Good point, Moxie, right? And this is something that I'm looking forward to. Right? I am 100% looking forward to, if Manchester United do what I hope they do, I hope that we finish in the Europa League or the Conference League. What I'm excited for is if we do that and say one of the other clubs doesn't do what they'd hoped, Champions League, or they get knocked out of all the cups, you wait for rival fans to come at us and go, United finishing in the Conference League and in the Europa League. Oh, it's fucking embarrassing. I can't wait for that. I want that. Next season, we have to finish there, though. The project is it's in place now. We have to just make sure we do everything we can to give Amorim the tools to get up there. Amorim will win the Premier League in his first 3. What's this? Amorim will win the Premier League in his 3 seasons. You see what he did when he was Sporting. I agree with that. And we are a Gary Neville away from hitting 800, guys. We are a Gary Neville away. If you are new, hit the subscribe button. A Gary Neville away from 800. It's me, Everest. You pump them up there, mate. Red Devil United, I think, another 5 or 10 minutes, mate, before Mrs. Robinson shouts me for the end of Love Island. I'm not English, so I don't know. Is it true that Newcastle is not a nice place to live? Oh, I don't know about that, Paul. Newcastle's all right. It's a cracking night on the piss, Newcastle. I'm not sure that's why footballers will sign, to be fair. Sesko doesn't want to go to Newcastle because he knows they can play but can't win any trophy. But United will. My retort to that, unfortunately, who's the last club to win a trophy out of Newcastle and Manchester United? Newcastle, they won the Carabao Cup. Amorim just must be seeing something in Shaw. He's not world class. I thought Luke Shaw was absolutely fucking abysmal last night. I thought he genuinely was abysmal. I saw him come on and I saw him run up the pitch, try and play a pass through. It completely fucked up. And instead of busting a gut to get back, Oh, he's doing the dad run. Do you remember Peter Kay? Or the Amarillo song? Is this the way to Amarillo? That was Luke Shaw. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. Hey, hey. That was Luke Shaw tracking back last night. I was like, of all games to do that after your manager has just rightly or wrongly in my opinion, come out and said that you are world class, and we see the sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la. It was bullshit. Absolute bullshit. I'm a Liverpool fan. I enjoyed it. No, I'm not. I'm not doing it to call you out, Lindo, Paul. I'm not doing it to call you out. I can't even remember why I was asking you. What did you say before? What did you say? Saying your number 9 is busy is a compliment. How shit a signing Rasmus has been. I was going to come. Do you know what? I was getting salty. I was going to come back about Nunes, but it's too long now. I fucked it. But yeah, thank you, Paul. Always great having you here, mate. Liverpool, and then it follows up with that. Do you know something? This week might be a good idea. Drop me a DM, Red Devil United. Drop me a DM. And yeah, they are cooking this window. They're absolutely cooking this window. Manchester United will sign Sesko and Newcastle will sign Watkins. Ollie Watkins, right, okay. Ollie Watkins, I think, regardless, doesn't end up at Villa at the end of the season. There is a merry-go-round here where Ollie Watkins and Nicholas Jackson, they're not going to end up at their clubs. Wouldn't it be funny if oh, God, imagine. Wouldn't it be hilarious if for all of the shit that Manchester United fans got about Nicholas Jackson, look at that, man. I need to get my hair cut. If Villa or Newcastle ended up with Nicholas Jackson, after all the shit, do you remember the stuff that they were putting in this chat about Nicholas Jackson? Your team, fucking have that. It would just be hilarious. We have to stick with Amorim, otherwise we will go back to square one, says Andy. Facts. Newcastle's a fantastic place, fantastic club, awesome stadium and atmosphere. You missed a cracking night out as well. You missed a cracking night out there as well. Newcastle is a nice city. There we go. I'll tell you what, with a Travel Channel tonight. Peter Kay, is that the guy who did Strutter? No, that was Paul Kay. Wow, I'm so glad you know who that is, though. Do you take Strutter direct? Wrong answer, motherfucker. I can love that show. Shaw gets away without being criticised. Unbelievable. I know. I'd rather play Bruno false 9 instead of spending big on striker until the winter than buy a Baleba. Do you know what the problem is with this comment? Look, man, I appreciate what you're saying. I do. I genuinely do. Two things. There's two problems with that comment. No, three. The first one is Bruno will never be a false 9. He won't. He just won't. He likes to be on the ball. If you left him as a false 9, he'd get bored and he'd drop down anyway. So we'd end up not having a striker. The second thing is buying a striker in the winter is the worst thing you can do, because halfway through the season is when the values will be even more higher. Manchester United tax or not. If you try and sign a striker in the window, look, the only reason you're going to sign a striker is if you've got the money to really prize them away and pay more than what the club is asking just to bring them because they've been that good, or they are bang out of form and the club wants to get rid of them anyway. So that's, and then the third thing is Baleba. Manchester United can't afford Baleba. Manchester United can't afford Baleba. No chance. Are we going to slap Newcastle right and left and centre this transfer? Be nice, wouldn't it? Be nice. If we get Sesko will score against Arsenal before Gyökeres. Sesko won't get done before the Arsenal game. I'm telling you now, Manchester United and Chad, no, he won't, because we got Rasmus. I'm telling you all now, I think Rasmus Højlund will start up top against Arsenal. I think that Rasmus Højlund will start up front against Arsenal. First game of the season. Would you prefer a keeper who is a great shot stopper but average with his feet, or the other way around? Well, we had a keeper that was a great shot stopper but average with his feet. His name was David De Gea, and he did okay. So I'd probably go with that, to be honest. I would love to take Martinez and Watkins from Villa. I would as well, Jamie. But do you know something? If I'm thinking logically here, Manchester United should go and get Le Mans and get Watkins. Instead of paying 80, 90 million for those two, you get the other two for what? I think 65 million, 70 million, you get Le Mans and Watkins. We are a Schmeichel away, folks. We are a Schmeichel away from hitting 800 subs. Let's get that done tonight. A Schmeichel away. We are a Schmeichel away. And Chad, I'm well, my friend. I hope you and your family are absolutely fantastic. Lovely to hear from you. You missed another thing. Jordan, I can't say that. It's me, Everest. Mrs. Robinson was in the other room. She'll hammer me. But they are. They absolutely are. Everyone subscribe. One more sub. Subscribe to the channel, chat. Yes. We need one more subscriber, guys. Who is going to be number 800? One to go. 800. Get the sunnies in the post. Guys, yeah. Whoever's the 800th, you get these beautiful sunglasses, yeah? Yeah? Who would fucking want them? I got these from a fucking so I can't give them away. Deary me. Show should go on because Show is part of Rashford, and other than that, remove coaches in Manchester. Maguire has repented. Okay, fair. Just epic. Yeah, exactly that. Jackson, no follow, chatting from Nigeria. Yeah, Jackson. So Nicholas Jackson from Chelsea we're talking about, but I don't see that signing coming. I've not seen the goalkeeper you am on. Jamie, I fucking love reading your. You know it's love, mate. I love reading your messages out because I read it in your accent. I've not seen the goalkeeper you am on about, mate. You know it's love. There we go, guys. Look at this. Look at that. That is down to you guys hitting the button and subscribing. Make sure you're hitting the like button tonight, folks, as well. This is just another milestone in our journey that we are doing on this channel. We started this channel on YouTube on the 21st of June. It's the 27th of July now, and we are now 200 away from hitting 1K. 200 away, and that is all down to all of you coming on this channel, putting your opinions on there. Some of them people may agree with, some people won't. But ultimately, this is a community that is absolutely family. Okay, so make sure you keep subscribing and make sure you keep sharing it. Thank you so much. I'm honestly buzzing with that. Absolutely buzzing with that. The next pre-season, I think, is when's the next watch along? Hang on a second, I've got it here. Manchester United versus Bournemouth, I think, isn't it? I think it's Bournemouth. Thursday the 31st, 2:30 in the morning. Fucking hell, it's 2:30 in the morning, guys. Fuck, I got work at 8:30. That's going to be a fucking horrible it's going to be a horrible Friday, isn't it? Hooray! Yes, can I unsubscribe and resubmit? You can just have them, to be fair. Don't worry, brother. Massive thanks to the mods, honestly, guys. And this is absolutely facts. And still the channel grows. Onwards and upwards, the Brian Brigade will keep rising. We keep rising. Soon be able to say City's FFP charges to 1K. I love that. I bloody love United, and I bloody love you, Steve. 1,000 soon. Like this stream to celebrate 800. Yes, make sure you do. I will watch the stream when I wake up. Yes, make sure you do, my man. Bournemouth will be a tough game. Absolutely will be. Let me check. You know, I always like to have a look on Twitter, guys, before we go anywhere, because you never know. There might be some breaking news. Can't see anything that's mad. No, there's nothing. I can't see anything else. The one thing I will say, actually, while I've got you all, Thursday night, I've got to do the watch along, because how could I sit here? How could I honestly sit here as a Manchester United fan and one of the founding members with you guys of the Brian Brigade and miss his fucking debut? How could I do that? I couldn't do that to you guys. So I will absolutely be doing the watch along. I just need to work out if I'm going to have a nap in the night and then come and do it. But guys, thank you so much. We are on the road to 1K. You better believe it. We are definitely on that road to 1K. You saw how Bruno looks dangerous as a 10. That's what could cost us to lose in the Europa final. He benched Ugarte. Bruno played deep. Also talked about Ahmad's position. Is he being limited? He's not being limited, I don't think, Lookman. Ahmad will be a right wing back this season. He'll fight it out with Delo. There will be games where he plays in that 10 role. There absolutely will be. There'll be rotation. We know this. But I think predominantly we're going to play him that wide right. Next preseason. Yeah, we'll be there, Chad. Don't you worry. 3 weeks until Xerxes winner. Has the Antony bid officially gone in, or is it expected? So apparently the bid went in. They offered a premium. No one knows what that price is. Manchester United come back and said, we want 50 million. So I expect it to be done soon, I do. Breaking news. Sesko has not got an agreement with Newcastle, not even in principle. Who's saying that? Who is saying that? Let's have a quick look. Sesko. So I've got Magpie Media saying it's been agreed. United remain and should not be ruled out. Sky Sports in Germany are saying that Newcastle are in talks, but we can't be ruled out. This is going to be one of them ones now. This is going to be one of them ones. Honestly, this is going to be one of those deals, I think, that will be bang, lickety split. And yes, Lucas, thank you very much. 1K is going to be soon. Thank you, mate. I've watched the last 10 to 15 Super Bowls, then gone into it the next day. Can be done as a one-off. I know, but I lead a team of people, mate, and trust me. Two of them, I won't name them. One of them's name rhymes with Schmavid, will have my head pecked on that day. But of course I'll stay up for it. Of course I will. Amram has said Brian will not be playing in the Bournemouth game. I beg your pardon. Brian, let's have a look. Let's have a look. He'll have a look, you know. Ruben Amorim has revealed that Brian Mbeumo will not feature against Bournemouth. Do you know what? Even though he has said that, I'm not going to let you guys down. I am not going to let you guys down. I'm still going to do that watch along. We need a saying for Watkins like you did for Brian. I'm open for suggestions with that. I'm not going to say Watkins Wanderers. That's ridiculous. I need to think about that one, Jamie. And yeah, yes, I saw this, Chad. I did see this, and it's. I'm going to do this on the show tomorrow night. Idris Gueye, 18 years old. I think what's he got, about 5 or 6 goals in his debut season. So it's one that we could look at. United will be in the top 3 next season. I fucking love that. Florent Pletagol was it Pletagol? Yeah, Pletagol. Let's have a look. Lauren Pletagol. Let's have a look. I can't see it, man. I can't see it. Take your word for it, though, Lindo. Definitely take your word for it. Great chat, as always, and we hit the 800. Brian Brigade, well done. Honestly, Moxie, thank you very much. United versus Bounce and Moth. Man U, 1-1 draw. Bounce and Moth. Take care, everyone. Yeah, have a good one. It's me, Everest. Actually, Dan, I heard that Everton debut is expected. Okay, fair. Brian Hattrick from the stands. The Jolly Ollie Boys. Love that. We'll go with that. The Jolly Ollie Boys. I'm happy with that. Right then, guys. We hit 800 tonight. We hit 800. We're on to the next target, which is 900. Couldn't have done it without you beautiful people. Make sure you have a good rest of your Sunday evening. I'm back tomorrow live at 9 o'clock. Hopefully with some transfer news with respect to Antony. Maybe we'll see some back and forth with regards to Sesko. One thing I know is that I absolutely adore each and every one of you. Thank you for being a part of this channel and helping it grow. Love you all to death. I will see you all on the flip side at 9 p.m. tomorrow. Dan United, Brian Brigade, the Jolly Ollie Boys. Uta! Booyah!